My nincompoop is Los Angeles Democrat Mayor Karen Bass.
Oh, boy.
Karen Bass recently sat down for a major interview regarding why she left for Ghana after the National Weather Service had already issued a critical fire alert, which later resulted in the most catastrophic fire the city of Los Angeles has ever seen. During the interview with Bass, she explained that she traveled to the African nation because, quote, I'm not making this up, no one told her not to. Noting the Biden administration had asked her to go in order to represent Joe Biden and his White House. Karen Bass went on to say that she was doing a full-fledged investigation to determine why she was allowed to go on the trip.
She's investigating.
We're going to win.
So you heard that correctly. Hold on, I got to get Donald Trump's talking about winning over here. Hey, Donald Trump out here. So here's Karen Bass talking a little about her full-throated and full-fledged investigation.
Which I know you've said was a mistake now. But I just am curious on the thought process behind it.
Right.
Because we know that there was warnings about the weather before you went, and you still went. What was the thought process behind going to Ghana?
So let me just tell you a couple of things. First of all, when the White House called and asked me if I would represent the president, I said yes. It was going to be a very...
Just real quick, is this the first that either of y'all are hearing about this? Because it's the first that I've heard about this.
Well, there for a moment, she sounded exactly like Vice President Kamala Harris. Because that is exactly what she would say when asked a question.
Well, first of all, let me just give you a little background. Yeah, let me just give you a little background.
We will find that although there were warnings that I frankly wasn't aware of, although there were warnings, I think our preparation wasn't what it typically is, meaning that before there's a major weather event, for example, last week when we knew we were going to get into the rains, you saw us come together and us talk about, get your sandbags, bring the K-rails out. That type of preparation didn't happen. If that had, I will tell you, Alex, I wouldn't have even gone to San Diego, let alone...
Okay, so she goes on for another, and I'm not going to bore the audience with it. She goes on for another 2.5 minutes in this answer, explaining that had the preparations been different, she wouldn't have gone. Had someone told her, she wouldn't have gone. Had the White House not called her, she wouldn't have gone. Had anybody else in her circle informed her that there would be fires of any sort, she wouldn't have gone. If her plane had been delayed, she wouldn't have been gone. If she had not the proper luggage, she wouldn't have gone. I mean, it's everybody's fault but her own.
I don't know that LA's got enough buses to cover all those bodies that she's throwing under it.
I was getting ready to say, I think that the winds had been forecast like 2 weeks prior.
For weeks, man. Karen Bass essentially blamed everyone in Los Angeles but herself. But she did go on to say that she is going to fully investigate, and quote, why she was allowed to go on the trip. Karen Bass is my nincompoop in the news.
It's pretty hard to top.
That's something right there.
Mr. Weber?
Well, I'm not sure who the nincompoop is actually in my story, but this was just too good. I had to share this. This was, I found this on a Reddit thread, and it comes from the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Apparently, in one of the restrooms there in the airport, a sign was spotted on a stall. It looks like a stall door. It looks like a stainless steel door of some kind. So I'm assuming it's on a stall door. And the sign reads as follows: security notice. And this is a very official looking sign. Security notice. Electronic genital verification. Parentheses EGV. Then it says, your genitalia may be photographed electronically during your use of this facility as part of the Electronic Genital Verification Pilot Program at the direction of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. In the future, EGV will help keep Texans safe while protecting your privacy by screening for potentially improper restroom access using machine vision and artificial intelligence in lieu of traditional genital inspections. At this time, images collected will be used solely for model training purposes and will not be used for law enforcement or shared with other entities, except as pursuant to a subpoena, court order, or as otherwise compelled by legal process. Your participation in this program is voluntary. You have the right to request removal of your data by calling the EGV program office at, and then it gives a phone number during normal operating hours. And then at the bottom, it's got a couple seals and the DFW airport logo. The phone number, by the way, is the actual office number to Texas's Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. So apparently I'm sure this has something to do with, the restroom debate.
Right. Right.
Okay.
This is somebody that's mad.
They're trying to gum up the works and get people to call this, the Lieutenant Governor's office and just basically cause trouble.
I could go for some of that TGI.
TGI?
Isn't that what you said? No. TGI, traditional genital inspection?
Oh, yeah. EGV, electronic genital verification.
No. That's that newfangled stuff. We go for the more traditional approaches on the Matt Murphy show.
Genital inspection.
So, yeah, that's there's a lot of nincompoops to go around and all of that.
I just thought that was hilarious.
And they just need to have a monitor in the bathroom.
Yeah, just a little bathroom, just a little fella.
Drop them.
Yeah.
All right, you're good.
He'll stand over there by the table with the magazines on it.
Just, listen, here's my standard. If you're able to stand at that urinal and make it happen, good for you.
Yeah.
I don't really care how you're doing it, but if you manage to get it done that way, you're good. Good to go. Might want to wash those hands before you leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
All righty.
That needs to be mandatory.
The old TGI. TGI beats EGV any day of the WEEK. Mr. Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Your nincompoop, sir.
School employee arrested after sending nude photos to student. An employee of Frederick County Public Schools in Virginia arrested and charged on a felony warrant after allegations of sending nude photos to a 17-year-old student. Brian Patrick Sullivan's been the athletic director at James Wood High School since 2022. District officials just learned about it today. Accusation is that Sullivan sent a naked photo of himself to a student through social media. Nobody's going to find out about that. School officials notified the Frederick County Sheriff's Office School Safety Division, which launched a criminal investigation. The investigation found Sullivan had shared at least 2 self-produced nude photos with the student between November 2024 and January 2025 that were confirmed to have been taken off campus and shared after school hours. The problem for Sullivan is that, unfortunately, the investigation lasted until he was reportedly visiting family in Pennsylvania over the weekend, and that's where he was arrested. Wow. Nothing to explain there. Sullivan is charged with using a communication device to transmit sexually explicit photos to a minor, which is a felony. So, there's my nincompoop.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on, man.
What goes through people's minds?
I don't.
When they think that they can do something like that and nobody will ever find out.
Don't get it. Do not understand it. I don't think anything's going through their mind, Ken.
Yeah.
I don't know. There you go.
Well,
there's
something is, but it ain't the right thing.
It's not the right thing. That's right. There's your 3 nominees. That's Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Give a vote.